for the opportunity to do this book review by Dale Carnegie. How you can win friends and influence people. So I'm here to highlight chapter 10 that says you can't win an argument. In fact, he started with his own personal experience. That was what led to this topic, you can't win an argument. It was his own personal experience. There was this guy that achieved so much feat in his own country, Australian guy. So everybody recognized him and decided to throw a big party. So what happened? In that party, a man just got up and made one quotation that is not from the Bible and claimed that that quotation is from the Bible. So Dale himself, keeping his mouth shut, no concern at all. The man was just talking for himself and maybe those around him. He made himself to intervene. So I said, no, I wanted to show you it's so important. I wanted to prove the man that he is wrong. And so what he did was to challenge the man. Nobody called him. So the man said, no, that thing is not from the Bible, it's from Shakespeare. I said, the man said, what? It can't be from Shakespeare. This is absurd. It is from the Bible and I know what I'm talking about. So he wanted to embarrass him. I wanted to show the man that he's nothing. So what happened? Dale said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? Like this, my friend here, Frank, sitting behind me, beside us. So let's bring up this question to Frank. Let's see what he said. Because Frank was an expert in Shakespearean novels. He read so much of them. So when they now brought it up, Dale was expecting that Frank would support him as his friend. But Frank wanted to teach Dale a lesson of how to not to put him on the way no concerns him. So he now told him, okay, look, Dale, you're my friend, but you're wrong, very, very wrong. This guy is right. Dale was like, So now said, this quotation is from the Bible, it's not from Shakespeare. So as they were about going home, Dale now stopped. Say, hey my friend, wait there. Why did you say this thing is from Bible instead of from Shakespeare? He said, don't worry. He even quoted, he said, that thing is taken from Shakespeare. He quoted the chapter. He quoted the chapter and I said, what did he say? He said it's from, Hamlet. Hamlet, yeah, at 5:2. So when he told me that we just guessed, yeah, why do you want to embarrass this man? Why to allow this man to, why want to prove that he's wrong? What are you going to tell about it? So why can't you leave him so that he will save his face? Why would you want to embarrass him and argue with him? So he not encourage him to always avoid the activity. So what happened? The man there now learned a very big lesson from that because even it was because of his background that really affected him. He came from a background that he was so argumentative, he learned how to argue so much. In fact, from childhood, even arguing with his brother at home. So he even went to school. He can argue out of this world from his own background. He even went to college to study logic, argument and debate. Just to be sure that he will argue you to the last. So he now also even planned to write a book on that. But after that incident, he now said, there is only one way under high heaven to get the best of an argument, and that is to do what? To avoid it. Because he said that 9 out of the 10 times that people argue, what it ends up is that each of the contestants will be trying to shoot their right. It never ended well. And that's how this topic came in. You can't win an argument. He now said you can't because if you lose it, you lose it. And if you win it, you lose it. You lose it still. Okay, if you win it, you lose. Why? Yeah,
you lose the friendship.
Yes, because he says, supposing you will now triumph over the other person, which is nice, you might feel good, your own side. But what of your opponent? How do you make him feel? You have downgraded his ego, you have made him inferior, he's no longer, you reduce his pride, you have embarrassed him. So what is that winning? Winning is when it is win-win from the both sides. So that's why he now said that we should avoid such arguments the way we avoid rattlesnakes and hedgehogs. Because you can never win an argument. So he learned a very big lesson on that. So for him, we now learn that relationship is the most important thing that he did. So we meet our clients, we want to form a very good relationship with them. Do our best. Don't go trying to downgrade them. Okay? Now he told us the story again about Patrick. Patrick was like a not so much educated. So, and he's a truck seller for a wise motor company in New York. So, but this guy has a problem that he was not selling. So I think we should all listen to this because this is part of our own part. So he wasn't selling. So what was his problem? The problem was that he's so argumentative. He can finish the person, his prospect. For instance, he would tell us that I will go inside this shop, I will enter this shop, what will happen? I will just, if I tell you, buy from white truck company, motor company, and you raise, any objection on that and try to compare with another product, he would he said, people say you see scarlet, red, black, and yellow, and then he will come to you and say like, what? What will you say that? He will start defending why his product is better. So on the course of doing that, he said, he will say, I told that guy something. Sure, I had told him something, but I have not sold anything to him. So he go out feeling bad. Then he now told a friend. Then he was now told what to do. So what he did was, he was trained on how not to talk, like using verbal fights to fight his customers. So after he applied what he did, he now became one of the best salesmen for the white motor company in New York. But how did he do it? How did he become the best star? What he did was that he told the story by himself. He said anytime he walked into the office, instead of behaving the way he did before, what he would have is that if somebody says, like if you bring and say, okay, I want you to look at our product, it's from white truck company, motor company, and the man says, no, I'm not buying from that company. I don't like white trucks. I'm going for the other truck company. You mentioned it. So what Patrick will now do is, okay, fine. Wow, that truck company, they are very big. I love them too. They are the best. If you buy their truck, you will never make a mistake. So, and they are fine company and they are good people. So you see the commendation. He now said, after saying that, what will the person say? Nothing again, because there's no more argument. Because you cannot continue all the afternoon and be talking, this one is the best, this one is the best. No. So gradually, he now changed his strategy. He now shifts to his own company. He moved from that, after commendation, he gradually diverted to his own company. So we can meet that in our presentation, Wow. Probably, we have competitors. Competitors that sell that give out what we sell. So we don't need to condemn their products, especially when the client is speaking for the product. All we need to do is to agree to a certain extent. So I'm able to divert to our own. Because he said something very important, why we should not do that. He says that anytime he continues to argue on that line, he found that it's like making the client to be more stubborn, that he won't want to look at his own product. And another thing, it also made the client to be promoting the other person's product more than his own. So at the end of the day, he will end up wishing. So that he learned that lesson. He now reflected back. Why have I not been selling all this one? So this is it. And I said, I wasted all my time, all my youthful life, just scrapping and arguing over nothing. So he now learned how to keep his mouth shut. He now said he pays so much. Then the last story there is on Frederick. Frederick is a tax consultant. This guy will go to a government tax inspector and he will argue for an hour over an item. Maybe an item that was worth $90,000. And then he will not claim, why would you put tax on this item? That is too much, it's not supposed to be taxed. And because nobody is going to collect it. Like, this is really a bad debt. The inspector was just like, who are you? Like in his mind, who are you to come and teach me my job? Who are you to come and tell me how to do this business? So the inspector will say, bad debt, my foot. Bad debt, they say, leak, no, and other, because he was not happy. So the inspector
the more he argued with the inspector, the more the inspector become stubborn, arrogant, and cold. So what did he do? What he did now was, he said, okay, he decided, in fact, by the time he went to his class to relate this experience to them, he told them that he noticed that he wasted both reason and facts. It's like he threw them aboard because it did not make any sense. Because the more he argued, the more he was stubborn. So he decided to avoid the argument. That was what he decided to do. And to change the subject in order to and give him more appreciation. So what he now said was, I suppose this thing we are discussing is just a petty talk compared to the very hefty decision you have to make on this table day to day. You see, Mr. Inspector, I know that me, yes, I've studied about taxations more, but you know, every of my talk and everything I'm saying here is just coming from book. For your own side, everything you're saying is coming from your lines of experiences. And so I wish I had this kind of job you have, and that would have helped me to teach me more and learn, and make me to learn better from each other. So if you were the inspector, how would you have felt? What did you do what he said? Yeah? What did you do what he said? Yeah, so what the inspector did was to lean back on his shit and relax. So in his mind, he said, now you know I'm the boss here. Now you recognize my importance. Now you know I'm supposed to. So do you know what he did? He started telling him stories about his work. He was open now because his ego has been recognized. His importance has been recognized. So he was now relaxed. And he now started telling him, he even told me about the debts, like fraud that he has helped to overcome, to bring back. And then he even went to the point of, the discussion now went towards his family. So he was telling him about his children, his family, to show that they were now friendly. Because this is a very stubborn man that now melted to something better, became more kind and sympathetic, but because of that little appreciation and recognition that was given to him by him. So before he left me, I said, don't worry, I will look into what you said. And then after 3 days, he now called him and said, look, that taxation is going to be, tax return will be as it is, what it originally is. So, what is the lesson for all of us here? Let me just talk about it. I'll read this one out. But before that, what is for all of us, there are suggestions on what we should do to avoid arguments. He said we should try to welcome the disagreement. So when you have a disagreement with each other, you should do what? Welcome it. Because it can be an opportunity for us to be corrected even before we make a more serious mistake. Then he said we should distrust our first instinct, reaction or impression. For instance, the tendency for you to react when somebody annoys you or argue with you is to be defensive. So he said be careful because that first reaction, that first word may be your worst. Maybe he said you are a very good person, but because somebody is arguing with you and you want to defend, you might say something you regret and come back and start breaking. So he says control your temper because a person is measured by the size of a person is measured by what makes him or her angry. So you need to control yours. Then listen, be honest and welcome. Then the last point there he said that we should also allow time to pass. Probably you might fix a date, like a day or two, to talk about it further. It's not just ending it. Then in that process, there are hard questions, tough questions you need to ask yourself before you meet to settle the problem. You can ask, could my opening be right? Could it be that I'm wrong? What is it for me if I win him? What if I lose? Will it make the person to come closer to me, or will it make the person to move away from me? What of the people that are watching? What reaction? How will they take me? What kind of person will they look at me? So, will I win or lose? What price will I have to pay if I win? So all these and so many other questions. Then it was summarized finally by a married couple for 50 years. The man said that he made an impact long ago with his wife. That no matter how angry they have grown with each other, that when one hears, the other will listen. Because it now says that when two people yell, there is no communication. Rather, what they are passing along is noise and vibrations. So, what do we learn from Dale? Dale's personal lesson shows us that we should choose our relationship over ego. Even if you are right in a client's house, you feel you are right, or you are dealing with somebody, don't fight to prove a point. Don't fight. Always remember that what you said is what people remember. They don't remember what you said, but it's how you make them feel. That's what they always remember. So in your family, relationship, in work, we need to avoid criticizing harshly. We need to choose connection over competition. Try to connect with each other than competing with each other. Then from passion, we learn that we should let go of pride and focus more on results. Because when you are so defensive, telling your clients that you shut down the door of communication.
Exactly.
Yes, because people buy into people, not just into your product or into the ideas you're selling to them. If they don't buy you, they won't buy your product. So listening and validation open the door to influence. And so if in our family and other engagement, we need to agree where we can as much as possible with people. And then we want to be a peacemaker actually and focus on collaboration, not on confrontation. Then from Frederick, we learned that ego softens when it is acknowledged. Okay? Not when you attack the person. Because when you show people respect and appreciation, they stop resisting and they start cooperating. That's exactly what happened with that experience. So everyone wants to feel important. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to be valued. So let's give it to them. We praise more, we argue less. We make people feel like experts, not opponents. Because arguments damage relationships, pride, and trust. So it ended with the fact that you cannot win an argument. So the best option is to avoid it. So these aren't just stories we are telling strategies for us to succeed in Saladmaster business and other businesses, and for us to succeed in love, in our love life, and also in life in general.
Wow.
Thank you. Actually, you lose it. Yes. You lose it in the sense that even if you win, it's seemingly win. It's not a real victory. Because the other person is also good. You have, even when you see the person, the way you will feel yourself, you feel, what I had.
Like that kind of person will be your enemy.
So the battle is that you cannot celebrate. So we want to celebrate. Maybe we will win on two sides. Many persons have
Disagree to agree.
exactly exalt his esteem and don't shame him, not because you want to win and he doesn't know himself.
Wow.